Hi everyone, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I am here with a one-page wonder for you guys. So I decided I wanted to use this scrapbook paper. It's Let's Create by Echo Park, and I've used it I think for some other videos, but it's so cute, and I'm just thinking for some crafty friends, what a fun gift, or just to have. So anyway, this was the sticker sheet. Let me show you what I made. This was inspired by Pink Strawberries. I will link her channel below. And she called hers like a little window tag booklet, I think. And I changed it just a little bit. Hers had a square window and she actually put some acetate, so it looked really cool. I didn't do that. I just punched a circle, which I'll show you because I kind of liked that look. And then I used a piece of my seam binding ribbon to close it. So it opens like this. And I used some of the elements from the kit. This was made with one piece of 12 by 12 paper for basically for the construction. And then like the little cards and embellishments, of course, are additional pieces. So there's a pocket there, and some embellishing. And then on this side, here's where the window is. I did a little circle. I'd rather be crafting. And then there's this pocket here. This is so funny. It's like, I'm a crafty girl. I make pretty things. I'll keep making and crafting until my fingers fall off. Then I will grab my adhesive runner, reattach those suckers, and make more pretty things. And I ended up playing around with circles, and that's how I kind of ended up with just this embellishment here. But so cute. And then there's a big pocket here. And again, just put one of the, let me see if I can get it out of there, one of the journaling cards that came in the kit. I just love this paper, the little stickers. So I just, again, thought, what a fun one-page wonder. I think the one she did was Halloween themed. So again, whatever paper makes you happy, you could make it, real vintagey, layer with book page, but I wanted to use this scrapbook paper. So how cute, right? All right, so let me show you what we're gonna do. I will put the measurements and the scoring for you guys in the description of the video. I was just gonna just lay this out so you can see it was one piece of 12 by 12. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is take a 12 by 12 piece of paper and you're gonna cut it into 3 4-inch strips. So cut it, a 4-inch and another 4-inch, okay? So you need one that is 12 by 4 inches. And we're gonna score this in just a moment. These two you can use for embellishing, you can use to make the tabs, you can turn them into little journaling cards, but these are great for that. So I'm going to set them aside. I also have, like I said, a bunch of pieces from other pages to embellish with. And to get these, I don't even know if I said that. Did I? Cut this piece at 8 1/4, both of them. So you cut them at 8 1/4 inches because you'll end up with these then 2 pieces that are, what is that? 4 by 3 3/4. Okay, but again, these are just going to be to use for embellishing. All right, so we're going to do very simple scoring on these 3 pieces. Again, you can refer to the video description. All right, on the 12-inch side of the 4 by 12, just score it in half at 6 inches, just to make it easy to fold in half. And then each of the 4 by 8 1/4, you are going to score at 5 1/4 inches. And I don't know that it matters. I have a little, there really isn't a direction to this. To me, it sort of seems to go that way. 5 1/4. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And that is all the scoring. Yay. All right, so let's go ahead. I love the green side too. And it looks like little cross stitches, little stitches there. Where is my bone folder? Here it is. Looks like that's off just a touch, so I may trim it off, but we'll see. And I'm not sure which way I'm going to do this yet, if I'm going to have the, you know, the green, or I don't know. Or if I'm going to do it this way, right? We can do it that way. There's two of them. Okay, I think what I want to do, as much as I love the pattern, I think I am going to fold it so the green is out on the large pocket. Just trimming that up just a touch so that it's even. Now, these are going to turn into tags. They're actually going to go like this. So when you would open it up, so I probably, why am I struggling? I'm trying to remember how I did the other one. Maybe I want it like that, and then we'll put something inside to kind of make those pockets stand out. I think that's what I did because it's the same paper. Let me just make sure. Maybe I will like it like this. Let's see. We did it like that. No, I liked it the other way. I apologize. Hang with me, guys. I'll be okay. It'll be okay. All right, so I'm going to want the contrast like this. And same thing. This one like this. Okay. So set this aside. That's your base. These are going to turn into the two tag flaps. Okay. So it's going to turn into this piece and this piece. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to use my little template here and pick an edge to be the edge of my tag. I can't decide. They're all pretty similar. I'm going to use this one. So I love this template. Different people do it different ways. Sometimes people just snip off the corner and then pick it up and, you know, lay it on here like this. I find my little template is just super easy for me. So once you've done one, I just actually cut my template a little bit. Once you've done one, you can use it to cut this tag, or you can just use your template, which I'm going to do because I'm going to show you one more time. So you pick the corner you're going to use, you cut it off, and then you flip it over. And that way your tag matches. Look at that. All right. I don't need these little bitty pieces. I will let them go. I hope you guys are proud of me. All right, let's use tea-dye distressing today. That's what I have out. And go ahead and ink a little bit and start thinking about what we want this to look like. Now, this is what we're going to see when it opens up. My friend Ellen, I don't know if Ellen's watching, but she gave me this. And it is a circle punch. When I first looked at it, we were in her craft room. And I was like, what's the point? It's just a circle punch. And then she kind of didn't answer because I think she was doing something else. And then I'm like, wait a second. That means you can punch anywhere on the paper. I'm going to show you guys. And she says she never uses it. And so she gifted it to me. So I am using it. So Ellen, thank you. All right. So it's one of these that has the magnet. So you can imagine. So like, let me show you. If I wanted to use this circle punch, I can't get it centered. And I do like this size. This one's a little bit smaller, but that's okay. That's beside the point. So I can't do that. And imagine too, like if you have a big 12 by 12 piece of paper, you don't have the reach. So with this one, you can literally lay it anywhere you want, line the magnets up and punch down. I'm not going to punch my stickers, of course. So hopefully I can do this and it will work. Now, let me just remind you, the tag is going to get installed on the base like this, and it's going to flip down. This is going to become a pocket. So we want to punch the circle if we're going to have a window on the front of the tag. And like I said, in the original video, she did like a rectangle or a square kind of window. You can use any shape you want if you have like a die cut or something, you know, that will reach. You can also, I didn't even do one on the tag, so you don't even have to do this. Like, this is optional. You could just decorate your tags, okay? But I am going to show you this punch because Ellen gave it to me, and when I saw the video, I thought, oh, I could use that punch. Now, I am going to, it's kind of like eyeballing, which isn't my favorite way to do this, but I'm going to eyeball. I think if I have the edge, the score line on this edge, it lines up really well. And I just know that because I already did it. But you could measure if you're using a die, you could measure something like that. Now I'm looking at it. I don't know. I feel like it needs to maybe go that way just a little bit. It looks pretty straight to me. We're going to go for it. Ah, there. That's not bad, right? Who knew? Okay, so that's my punch. You guys probably all have these and you're like, Cam, this is nothing new. But she said she had it for a long time and just didn't really use it. So anyway, I'm excited that I have a different punch to play with. All right, so there's one tag. And then this one I'm going to do like I did on the other and not do a window on that one. Okay. So I'm just inking the base, and I'm not gluing this yet because I am going to put a notch on here as well. But I am going to, what did I do? I think I did, it doesn't matter really, but I'm going to do it this way. I am going to glue one down first before I do the notch on the base. So this is going to get glued on here just like that by this flap. So fold up your tag and then get your glue and add glue to these two sides in the bottom, and that's it, so that you leave that as a pocket. Now, if I need to straighten any of this up, like trim off the little edge that's not quite even, I will. I'm trying to be careful with my glue because some of the items that I wanted to put in from the kit, I had to trim down, which is fine, but I'm hoping they will, you know, fit in here and not be too snug. Is too a word? Okay, so that one is installed. And before we install this one, I'm now going to do a notch. And I wanted to see, I didn't ink very dark here. I wanted to know where this pocket was to help me decide. I'm going to go towards the top, show you how I did this one. I'm going to go up a little bit higher, I think. I don't mind that it crosses over, but it does. And I think it still will, but I'm still going to go towards the top. So I'm going to punch through both layers at the same time so that my notches match. I hope this makes sense. Okay, so now I have a fun little thumb notch, see? Okay, we add a little ink to that. And then I'm gonna glue this tag on, and then we will glue our base together. So same thing, we are going to attach it by this flap. So glue on both sides and the bottom. And we're going to glue it down. All right. Now, I know I want my booklet to stay open on the side with the notch. So I am going to add glue along this side and this side so that when I close it up, I have a side load pocket. Or I can do here and here. All right, it's easier for me to reach. So I'm going to go here and here. close it up, leaving the side open. And I just found it easier to do it that way, so that I know everything is okay. Now let's make sure we didn't accidentally close up our pocket. We did not. Everything's good. Okay. So now let me show you how I did just some of the finishing, right? So this is your base, and you have these pieces that we haven't used that we can use for embellishing and decorating. Now, I also have some of the offcuts from some other pieces of paper that I'll probably use just so that I have a little more contrast, because I really liked the wood grain with it. So I'm probably going to use some of that again. Some of the stickers, and then some of the little cards that I chopped up, you know, that come with these scrapbooking kits. Life is better when you are crafting. Facts. I love that. In fact, I love it so much. It's probably going to get a prime place. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I do know I want to use this for the tabs on the 2 tags, and maybe for whatever journaling card I put in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll just go ahead and punch 3 out. Go this way. And then we can also use these little images if we want to for some embellishing. They're very cute. But let's just go ahead and do these tabs. Now, if you don't have a tab punch, you can make tabs. And in fact, in the original video, she actually showed you how to use a circle that you've punched out to make a tab. And I think I can remember how she did it. I can show you guys real quick. You can also go watch her video, which would be wonderful. But let me get out my circle punch and I'll show you guys real quick what that would look like. And I don't know what size circle punch she used. Where's that piece of paper? Okay, so what she did, I think, see if I remember. Pretty sure she just punched a circle, folded it in half, and then again, I think, I'm going to use a different one. She just cut off the corners. I've never done this before. I'm doing this from memory. I think she did this. And again, I'm just using a template to help me. This. And then, yeah, used that as a tab. I think that's what she did. Yeah, like that. Isn't that cute? And my whale tab looks like this. So very similar, just a little different. What a cute idea. So, all credit, all credit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the ones that I punched out with my whale tab. Did I ink them? I think I did. Okay, so, and then I'm going to show you a trick to punch the hole. Obviously, we could hold these together like this and go ahead and punch our hole. And that's easy, but sometimes you forget to punch your hole and then you want to do a closure like I did, and that's what I did. So I'm going to show you a trick to make them line up. Not that it's brain surgery, but I'll just show you. So I'm going to glue it down like any other tab. Okay. And then we're going to put one on this side. Just like that. Let me know if you guys also like this paper. I just think it is so cute. It's definitely me, right? All right, now, once you have whatever tabs you're using, and we want to have a hole. So you tie ribbon. Of course, you could set an eyelet or something if you choose to. We're going to flip it like this, and they should line up pretty close. Pretty close, right? So for me, the big thing is I wanted them kind of the same distance down. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to offset it so they're punched exactly the same, or if I'm going to punch them through like this. What I should have done was when I was gluing it down, I should have lined it up with the one I'd already put down. One, you know, like that one looks like it's more centered than this one. It's okay. Hopefully we won't notice. And so then you just punch them together all the way through. This one, see, because the top of your booklet is taller, you don't really notice that they're off a little bit. Okay? I hope that makes sense. All right. Now, I am going to start decorating and think about what I want to see through this window. Now I have, like, I punched this out earlier, and that would be cute. It's the exact size. So, I mean, and that's okay. And it's got contrast. And then I could, you know, finish decorating the tag. The other thing we could do, I mean the pocket, is, you know, I could I do something like this and do a flower. This one says crafting is life. And we're going to have the contrast of the green behind there. Oh, here's a sticker. This, like I did this one, the sticker. And I really liked that. So that's cute. I'd rather be crafting. Love it. I think I kind of struggled after I stuck that sticker down. I felt like this needed something, and I'm not sure. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine what I came up with to layer on there. But I think what I would really like is I'm going to just cut, let's see, a strip of this wood grain. And I'm going to make it, I don't know, like 3/4 of an inch. Not very big. And I'll probably cut some more before it's over. But I'm thinking of putting it here and then putting the sticker on here so that when you open it up, there's a little more decoration going on with the pocket. So that's what I'm going to do, instead of trying to punch another circle out and all of that. All right, I want to get it centered. That looks about right. Get it straight. All right, let me just stick that down and make sure before I get all the glue. That's pretty good. All right, so again, right now, all we're doing is embellishing. You know, I could have left that as a cute little belly band, but I didn't. I glued it down. Okay, and then I'm going to use this right here. And it's smaller than my window, so I was able to just stick it down and get it where I wanted it. Easy peasy. So cute. So let's see what might look good here. Again, I think any of these, like I'd rather be crafting is life, all that will look good, but I need some type of strip here. And I'm just going to go back to the wood because I like how it looks. And this time I'm going to go with an inch. So this is again 1 inch by 4 because that's the width of my tag, my little book. So cute. I originally got into paper crafting as a scrapbooker, you know, when my kids were younger, of course. And so I still love like stickers and all this kind of stuff. And I think it's such a fun combination, you know, to bring to our crafts. All right, I'm going to add a little ink. Just a touch. And because I just have my fingers all over the back, I will add just a little more glue. I think it's sticky enough, but there we go. All right, and I'm going to attempt to center it. Very cute. Not a lot of contrast. I really liked this one, but it's okay. All right, let's decorate this one. What did I do here? Oh, I just did a strip and a sticker. So the other thing we can use is one of these, right? So let me look at the different sayings and see what I might like to have on there. I love this. But again, I'm not sure about the contrast. I may put this on the inside of one of these. So now another option is I could trim one of these down and then trim one of these down. That would be cute. Let's see if there's one I don't want to miss. Also have those papers. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. I don't want to cover up all of it, so things are falling. I am going to attempt to cut this out where it still looks nice. Sometimes I do okay, and sometimes it looks a little wonky. One thing, using these kits, everything is beautiful and precise, and a lot of the crafting I do, you know, with junk journaling, I grunge things up, and again, I ink them, and I don't worry if every little piece matches. But when I'm using these kits, sometimes it feels like I need to be more careful. Okay, I know this is 4 inches wide, and I think I'm gonna go 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 and see what that looks like. And I didn't even look at what size this was. So that was, you know, just me guessing. But there we go. That's what we're going to do. Do I also want a strip of the wood grain under there? Why don't I? Why not? I'm going to do a piece that is 1 inch wide because I can always then trim it smaller if I want it thinner. It's harder to go back. So what I'm thinking is something like this, where it goes all the way across like this. Something like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, just a touch of ink to cover up that white core a little bit of the paper. All right, if you are enjoying the video, please take a moment and give me a thumbs up and drop me a comment. I've asked you guys this before, but if you want to share with me how you got into paper crafting, whatever style is your favorite, yeah, let me know. I would love to hear. I love knowing how people end up with the hobbies and the interests that they have. My professional career before becoming a crafter full-time and a YouTuber, right? I was, I worked with people with disabilities in employment. And so I always loved hearing stories about what people do for a living, how they ended up in their career choice or job, you know, all of that. And I think it's similar with crafting or hobbies. Like, I'm just very, very interested. Ugh, these are so cute. Okay, so now this is a pocket, remember? So I want to decorate that. I want it to stand out a little more. So one thing that helps too is when we add these cards in there. Now, I think what I want to do here, let's see. How big is this pocket? It is 3 by 4. let me measure this circle. This circle is a little under 3. So if I cut this right at 3 inches, we still get to keep the circle. And then let's do a 1/4 inch off of each to make it 3.5 by 3. And that way we still get a little bit of the green. Now the other thing is I could, I could just put it here. I love these polka dots. Let me think for a second. I'm trying to decide. I love it. I'm thinking I'm going to, like do a smaller strip of the sort of polka dots. Maybe just with this, right? Like just kind of make it a subtle decoration on the pocket, because I'm also going to put something in the pocket. And then I'll put this Crafting is Life sticker. I'm going to bring it, I don't know, maybe 1/3 of the way down. And just do that. Okay, that's cute. I wish I hadn't trimmed this up as small as I did, but it's okay. We're going to just glue it down. Very cute. Okay, what have I done in here? I have this, so I want a little something here. What did I do? Okay, I just did a strip with a little sticker. So we'll stay with that, but maybe we'll use a strip of the polka dots. Let's do 1 inch, right? And we could make other little tuck spots and all kinds of things on here if we wanted to. So don't feel like you have to stop just because of how I'm decorating. All right, I'm going to do that. So that way we have another circle too. Because I do think there's a lot of room. Again, this could have been like a little belly band. And then as long as you put something kind of snug in there, I'm going to bring this over here because I don't want to cover up that little bit of yellow that we have. All right. Now I'm going to pick which pieces I want to trim down to make fit into the pockets. I kind of like this idea too, because then I can have some journaling space. So to make these fit, the pocket is not 4 inches wide because it has glue, right? It's probably more like, if I'm lucky, 3.5. So a 3.25 inch wide tag would be best. So I'm going to go to 3.5, and now I'm going to go a little less because I'm going to just try to line it up like that. Okay, now the height, we have a little more wiggle room, but let's just see how this fits. See how cute? And then there's the hearts. So there's one, and I don't think it matters, which side I put it in, right? On the other one pocket was definitely a little more snug than the other. So we'll see. And the cards that I chose, I didn't have as much, I wanted to keep all the words and not cut them out. Now I have these strips for something. Okay. How about I use this one for this pocket? I'm trying to see. Let me look at this one to see what size I cut it to make it fit. It should be pretty close. I did 3 3/4 by a little under 5.5. Okay. So cute. So 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. This one might work. Let's try it again. This is where I've got those letters that I don't want to lose. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fine. In fact, I may even use this one on the inside pocket. Oh, I went really close, didn't I? Yikes. Okay, let me see. All right, I'm gonna put that one there for right now. And then, what's this, 4? I'm gonna get it to 3 1/2. And then I think we'll be okay. And then I think, what did I say? We'll just make it as short as I can without cutting anything off, and we'll see if it fits. How's that? And you may have to kind of play with yours too. Oh yeah, I like that in there. Okay, so this one I am going to add a little ink. That way I don't have to cover up any of my cute little decoration on this one because I do want to put a tab on this one. And I have this one that I made. So I do want it to match up. And what I mean by that is when I slide it in here, for the most part, I would like, if possible, this tab to go right like that. Is it possible? I don't know. But I'm going to try. All right, so let me glue it down. I love this. Please excuse the mess. We are crafting. Did I tell you guys my husband sent me a meme? I may have mentioned this. And it said, I have a retirement plan. I plan to craft. And I was like, that is me. 1000%. Okay. All right. So now I have this, and it's going to go in there. Let's add a little sticker or something cute like I did on the other one on the tab. Oh, I have another one of these. I just thought that was so cute, the faux paper clip idea. This one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to put it at an angle. And then on this side, we have, this like looks like a little heart punch. We have little faux buttons. Thread. It's so cute. Okay, what am I going to pick? Oh, there's another one too. You know what? I think this one's smaller. Can I pull this one off without messing up the paper? Ha! All right, so let me put this one because I really liked it like that. This one, I'm just going to push down and save, and then when I go to use it, I'll just add some glue to it, and it will be totally fine. Let's, on this one, I was thinking of a faux button, but the ones I keep seeing, I don't think there's going to be much contrast. Oh, well, it'll be okay. All right, a little button. Let's slide this in. I mean, seriously, how cute is that, right? All right, the only thing I think left that I'm going to do is pick a piece of ribbon. So I liked using the seam binding. So let's look at our colors. Not long enough. All right, that one would work, but not much contrast. Oh, that would be pretty. Let's use that one, or a portion of that one. The peach, and kind of picks up that pinky color. So all I did, this is so not centered, but I think with the ribbon, we're not going to notice. Guy, or not notice as much, right? All right, so I pulled it through, and now I'm going to pull it through this one. And let me just see if I have enough to make a cute bow, and then I'll trim it off. Yeah, this one's nice and crinkly. Love it. All right. scissors. That ends okay. All right, look at that. Oh, I ended up with I'd rather be crafting on both of them. But that is so true. Create pretty things. Every stitch is done with love. All right, remember they open like this. Pocket on the side and open. Okay, so I hope you like it and are going to make one. Drop me a comment and let me know if you plan to try this one. Again, I think really any paper, you know, if you want to do birthday, if you wanted to do thinking of you, if you want to do it for a journal, just, you know, use paper you like and make it nice and crafty. You could do a vintage one. Lots of options. But I do think, I mean, I know, and I imagine one of you guys will suggest this too, but again, make this and give it, instead of a traditional card, and stick a gift card in there or something. So lots of options. All right. I appreciate you guys joining me and have a great day. Thanks for watching.